teaching. I was doing some automatic writing this morning, and I asked what I should teach. And the reply was my fourfold scrying, the fourfold scrying, responding, and witnessing to the healing. So scrying, some of you might be familiar with that word, SCRY. That's sort of like crystal ball gazing, or some people can like hold somebody's keys and tell everything about them. It's a way to psychically connect with things. And I think that with distance healing, there is a psychic element where we're actually connecting psychically with what we're doing. And I think the names are one, we say the name and then we're connected. Excuse me. And then we say the name and we're connected, and we can kind of confuse that with the healing. So what I'm going to talk about right now is how to connect on the physical, on the life force, on the astral or the octave of emotions and images, and the octave of the spiritual. There's all these different ways to connect to our distance healies, all right? And to scry, not just to connect to the healies, but to connect to the healing process of them. So let's start with the physical. You can notice that the healing's changing really only on yourself or somebody you're in the same room with, because the physical implies that you're physically present with something. But there are physical changes, so immediately with distance healing. And the biggest one that I'm familiar with is temperature changes. So you can feel above and below your navel, you can feel your hot or cold hands, you can feel the temperature of your tumor in comparison with the non-tumor parts of your body. The next octave up is the life force octave. And you'll notice as we're doing this spinning meditation that you'll have breathing changes. You might sit up straighter. There are just a feeling of more vitality or fatigue or more energy. These are changes in the life force that usually give pretty instant feedback. Now, can you say your cancer's cured if you stood up straighter? No, but you can say that something in me responded positively to some natural force, and that's what we're trying to do. Is we're trying to coax these natural forces into action. All right. So the next thing up is the astral or the octave of emotions and images. And this is, if you're using your imagination to connect with people, this is where it gets really, really big with the scrying. Like what I notice when I'm doing my spinning meditation and I'm focusing on the healing is that my images will change. I don't make them change consciously. There's an unconscious part of me that's making them change. So the spinning might go faster or slower. The spinning might change its shape. It might be a cone, it might be a cylinder, it might be a ball, it might be a disc, it might be a pink flamingo that's turning very fast. It can just be anything under the sun that's spinning. And sometimes when that changes, that's an indication that it's like spirit saying hello, something changed. And then it usually filters down, and I feel it on the other levels too. Then we can also, we can look at our imagination, but we can also look at our emotions. If you suddenly feel happy or sad or scared or angry, and it's not situational, you just, like, you're sitting here trying to do a healing and suddenly you get a little sad or you get a little angry, that's usually an indication that you're actually doing something important. And at that point, you just keep spinning, and you spin anyway. Because sometimes the emotions can interfere with your spinning, and you want to claim your power to spin anyway. All right, and then on the spiritual octave, I think of thinking as a spiritual activity. It's not necessarily a religious activity, but it is that witnessing part of you that can witness your emotions, that can witness your own mental images, that can witness all sorts of things. Sometimes you get a thought that feels new and fresh. Most of our thoughts are just reactive. we're sort of like locked in a thinking matrix, which is sort of why we're doing this, to try to open out of that matrix. And so one indication that the healing's happening and that, you know, you can like try something more, it's like feedback. You start getting a thought or a realization while you're working with the healing, and that's another indication that things are happening. Yeah, Bengston says, and that it's like standard, that the healing has to go from the world of the spirit to the world of the physical. And the emotions are like the motor, okay? So that's a different topic of using the emotions to enhance the healing. Right now I'm trying to just scry, of just watching the emotions and spinning anyway, watching the spiritual and spinning anyway, watching the life force and spinning anyway. Okay, all right. And if you have topics like that, like please talk about how emotions can enhance the healing. I can talk for hours about that. Okay, good. All right, so that's the little bit of teaching. Now let's go into the guided visualization. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can join us on the Spirit Gate Cancer Support Facebook group every Friday. And if you're here on the Facebook group, please go to the YouTube channel and like and subscribe to the channel. That helps me reach people. This is important work. And still quite a ways from being paid for these things on YouTube. I think I've got 500 subscribers and you need 1,000 or something. So I'm a long ways away from that. But if you like and subscribe, that helps.